And now, coming to you wait, who the fuck are all of you? Where are you taking that Elton John commemorative plates? What the fuck, Brett? Why are they taking the set away? And why are you in your pajamas eating hot Cheetos?
The feng shui was off.
What? What does that even mean?
Well, you see, my little buddy, feng shui is the...
I know what the ancient art of feng shui is. What does that mean for us?
Oh, we're going back to the bedroom.
Can I still do the intro?
Fuck yeah, you can.
And now, coming to you live via satellite from a smoked out Southern California bedroom, the epitome of divinity, her high as hell highness, the wild one, Brett Michelle.
Yes, that's right. I am Brett Michelle. The square over there still play daily, as always. And we're doing things a little bit different moving forward. We're going to shake it up. You know, we're gonna give it a haircut, a little makeover. You know, just a teeny little tweak to the format. A rearranging of the juge, if you will. The je ne sais quoi, if you're not into the whole brevity thing. You may be asking yourself, Brett Michelle, why after about 2 months and only a handful of shows are you already changing things? And the answer is, I just really can't be expected to have my shit that much together while also trying to survive the existential hell that is living in a country led by sloppy mean girls who govern from neo-Nazi-backed social media at 2 a.m. That's just entirely too much hairspray that I do not have. So we're going back to the garage. We're going back to the bedroom, if you will, and we're gonna do this the real Brett Michelle way. Anyway, hi, Blade. You ready to talk about Revolution?
No.
Yeah, seems like most of the country isn't yet anyway. Hoping that changes.
Zing.
You better turn that frown upside down, bucko, because when we get back from this commercial break, we will be talking about AEW's fantastic pay-per-view, Revolution, and just all the fun AEW's been lately. Here's a commercial that we definitely didn't make ourselves.
Are you tired of woke lamestream media? Are you looking for real, hard-hitting conversation? The Chad Brogan Show.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm saying. People don't understand the nuance. We're not so bad. I mean, we have socialists in the name.
Yeah, dude. Like, what even is good and evil when you really think about it? Unfiltered, unhinged, uncensored. No idea is too dangerous. No guest is off limits. I'm just asking questions, brother. Hey, you want some ketamine?
Ooh, wunderbar.
The Chad Brogan Show.
Hello, we are back. We don't have a guest this week. It's just going to be me and my little sidekick here, Blade. How are you? What's going on?
I'm doing all right. I mean, aside from the musty trappings, it doesn't look like we have enough room for the box in here.
Yeah, that's out in the garage, bud.
God damn it. Are you serious?
Yeah. Oh, you would? Did you think I was getting rid of that? Hell no.
Well, you got rid of everything else.
My weaselly little friend.
God damn it.
Anyway, how about that Revolution, huh?
Well, okay. So, first things first, I'm still mad at you for going to it. Because I couldn't go to it because you, on a pure wrestling standpoint, I think you saw maybe the best pay-per-view ever. That's insane.
I sure fucking did, didn't I? Holy fuck. The one thing that I have kept saying, to like friends who have asked, like, oh, how was it? Blah blah blah. And like I have been to countless like live wrestling events, like handfuls of pay-per-views and whatnot. And like I don't think I've ever had that much fun at a show. And not just Revolution. It was Revolution and Dynamite 2 weeks before was here in San Diego where I'm at. And like those 2 weeks were just the most fun I've ever had at a pro wrestling show. I was yelling, I was screaming. I mean, you heard I sounded like fucking RFK for a week after that. It was ridiculous. That's why we haven't done a show, by the way. That and we were switching up the format. And what I mean by switching up the format is just like it's gonna be a little more cash, hanging here. I don't have to worry about all the brouhaha.
That's true.
Yeah,
brouhaha takes work, people.
It does. But let's get into it, though. I mean, because the big thing that stood out to me so much about this pay-per-view was like just the storytelling in so many of these, not just matches, but the feuds. Like, it seemed like so many of the matches, especially going into this, was, kind of setting up the next kind. I don't want to say like generation, because I mean people like Osprey and stuff are already like on another level, but I mean like in the story side of things, like now you've got like Will breaking away from the Don Callis family, you've got Tony moving on from Mariah, it would seem. Just all over the card, all up and down the night. Like, so what did you think about the pay-per-view? Like,
well, even
in that regard.
Yeah. So they had what I would consider 3 feud enders on that show, which is kind of rare. I think Tony and Mariah are done for now. Mariah's gonna probably be off TV and get a makeover when she comes back. It'll be very interesting to see how she comes back, but Tony's obviously moved on. It was, I think Osprey and Fletcher are done with each other for now. That's what a cage match is for, people. It's to blow something off in a big way, and they did. My God. And honestly, I think Takeshita and Kenny, and maybe the Don Callis family and Kenny are kind of done for now. And I think that's a really good thing.
I think I took it, as a lot of the stuff with Don Callis lately is, it seems like right now the faces are leveling up. It would seem after Revolution. That's kind of I guess that's what I was trying to get to, is it seemed like this was in the story. If this was, kind of how people used to talk about the Bloodline storyline being like Avengers, or shit like that. Like this is the good guys. This is Team Good Guys leveling up is how that show was. Like, I mean, yeah, it ended with the Death Riders and my favorite wrestler, Jon Moxley. Bill, your AEW heavyweight champion.
At least someone's happy about it.
You know what? Tammy Wynette, stand by your man, okay? I named my cat after the son of a bitch, okay?
I can't want turn Cope or Christian to win, just FYI. Like,
no, I didn't. You know what? I was going into it and like, okay, so the first wrestling match I ever attended in my life was in 1999 here in San Diego. I think it was at the San Diego Sports Arena. It was a Sunday Night Heat. They were taping. Well, I mean, it was like a live event or something, but they were taping Sunday Night Heat there. And on the card, the first match was a dark match. And it was Edge and Christian versus Double J and Owen Hart. And yeah, Owen and Double J won. I mean, I was so young though, that I didn't really like I wasn't super into like Jarrett or Owen Hart yet. I didn't understand yet. But like Edge and Christian, like thinking about seeing them in my first live wrestling match ever.
Yeah.
And then 26 years later, like I'm sitting in pretty good seats at the Staples Center,
Yeah.
like singing along to Cope's theme with the entire stadium. And then Christian comes out, and I'm like, it was so cool to have that moment of like, fuck yeah, like how
Yeah.
long this art form, this whatever, has been part of my life,
Mhm.
and being able to see the first two people I ever saw wrestle in person, like in a ring together again, 26 years. I mean, yeah, sure, I've seen like them in other matches together throughout my fandom, but like I don't know, it hit me like big this time, just
Yeah.
thinking about like, and maybe it's because of all the bullshit going on in the world, it's like hard to find those spaces of joy, but like, yeah, I think just being there really, it let me know like how it reminded me how magic pro wrestling is. There's nothing like it. There's
Right.
nothing like it. Like this whole show was like that.
Well, let me ask you, what was the atmosphere like in the building? Because on TV, there was this palpable excitement, like this big buzz that you could kind of feel.
It was, and that's why I say I think it was like so much fun, is it just felt like a big party in there.
Mhm.
Like there was not a moment that I can remember where somebody wasn't yelling something, even if it was just like a few random voices out in the void, like it was always alive. It felt alive in there, is what I'll say.
Mhm.
It felt like everybody was just having the best time, and they put on a hell of a show for us,
Yes.
like bravo to the production team, like everyone in the stadium that was working, the talent, like best pay-per-view I've ever been to.
Oh yeah.
Like hands down, it was so much fun. And not even like, even if you don't think like the content was the most amazing, like the show itself was just whoo,
Mm-hmm.
whoo. But go ahead.
Well, so you were there for some pretty historic shit, like
Yeah, that I was about to bring up
3 5-star matches in a row. In a row. That's even according to Dave Meltzer, who doesn't give women's wrestling 5 stars. Joshi G and I on the other Sickos Club podcast, we're talking about how Meltzer never does that, and he finally did for a match you were in person for. That concludes the greatest story in the history of professional wrestling, in my opinion. How did that feel? The Hollywood ending.
Honestly, that was the match. Like I got like good, like, I like taking pictures and stuff and then edited them after live events and whatnot. But like that match, like I don't think I looked away at all, because this has been my favorite story in pro wrestling, like recently. This is my bloodline. And like it's so much of like the things I love that aren't wrestling meeting pro wrestling. For those of you who don't know, I'm a big old queer. So obviously like all of the classic movie references that are happening in it are so good. Like I love all the, like what about Eve, whatever happened to Baby Jane, like I love that aspect of it, but it also to me has almost felt like that through, like if Tarantino directed those movies, almost, you know what I mean? Because their story has also had this element of all the old kung fu classics, the student trying to beat the master.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why I loved when Tony lost the belt and she skips off, at all in last year. Was it All In or All Out? I don't remember. All In.
After All In, yeah.
Yeah. And then we don't hear from her for a little bit. We don't know what happened to Tony. But then those videos start popping up where she's basically in the globe, trying to relearn the craft, trying to better herself, trying to level up as a fighter. And then, she comes back and the greatest performance of a lifetime, and Like that was genius. And then we get to this match. And again, I'm still on the Tarantino thing, so stay with me. And then these bitches tape their hands and dip them in broken glass and have a fist fight. And now, for those of you who don't know, this is actually like a thing. Like this is a match style. This is like in my head, not even in my head, like out loud, immediately was just like, holy shit, it's a Taipei death match.
It's a Taipei death match, baby.
Because that's what it is. It's a Taipei death match. And I was on Bex's show, you know, the other day we were talking about it, and the only one I've ever actually watched, I think, was Ian and Axel Rotten at Hardcore Heaven 95.
Yep.
Like,
it's all you need to watch. They're not fun to watch generally. Yeah.
No, but they did it. They did it perfectly. You know, like they didn't overdo it. It wasn't, I mean, even if they did, I think I would have loved it. But like, I don't know. Tony's really like both of everyone involved, RJ City's writing, like all of it. It's just, it's such a visceral and aesthetically beautiful, like everything about it to me. Just when people talk about like cinema in wrestling, like to me that is cinema in wrestling.
Sure was.
And I love what it does for women's wrestling in the main spotlight as well, because I mean, when do you ever see mainstream women's wrestling with this level of like violence and just and like
care too
and raunch, you know, like the like Tony's promos, like I just love it, because I think so much of pro wrestling, even when women's pro wrestling started becoming not the diva era, like I don't know, I there's still this feeling that it's like, well, it's still just the girls, you know, and it still doesn't feel as respected as much as people respect men's pro wrestling. And I love that I think that they're doing it. Like, you know, Tony and Mariah have, like, they did it, you know. And I mean, how many times do you go online and just see it's just Tony, like people love it, and I just want I think we need more of these types of intricate, deep, like real stories from women's wrestling, rather than the alternative, which has just been kind of like, oh, well, they're feuding with this one because of, you know, it's just like, tell the story.
I think you had the perfect pairing of talent and director, kind of. RJ City is the director. It's one thing to have the idea of like, we should do an angle with characters that are reminiscent of, you know, whatever happened to Baby Jane or whatever, and like, and Sunset Boulevard. But it's another thing entirely to pull that off in
Sunset
a wrestling
Boulevard,
in a wrestling context and actually make it work. And that's what they did. That's the real like triumph of this whole angle, is Mariah May was that insanely cruel, sadistic, heartless asshole.
What you made me do.
Oh my God. And then when the moment comes where Tony finally kind of cracks the code of Mariah and figures out how to get over on Mariah loses her mind and cannot stand it. And she's every bit as good at being unhinged and wild as Tony is.
And let's not forget the Mina of it all. I mean, there was romance in this story.
There was.
They were pushing like they were doing some like that. There was like queer shit going on in mainstream pro wrestling TV. I loved it. Like, well, and just I feel like it pushed so many like I hate to say it's weird to say pushing boundaries about this kind of shit in 2025, because it's like we see it all over movies and
wrestling's always
TV.
behind.
But wrestling hasn't gone there yet. And now Tony and Mariah did. And Mina.
That last shot of them on the ramp with Tony nestling into her bosom. And then like she's about to get up and she doesn't want to. And she like nestles back into her bosom. And then later when they show the behind the scenes and she goes, I miss her already. It's like, that is cinema. That is a movie.
It is. Let me hold on low when in the arena, because I couldn't see them when they were up on the ramp.
Right. I would assume not.
But when they got into that death match with the glass and Tony ducks that clothesline.
Yeah.
And just pops her one.
Yep.
Seeing that in the arena, she did that facing my section. So I'm just seeing her just soaked in blood and
my God,
jabbing at. Oh my goodness. It was surreal. It was so surreal. And then the ending, you know, with the end on the screen and the old classic song, like it was just, man, it really did feel like I had just like gotten through watching, you know, like a Kubrick classic or the new Tarantino film.
Right. No, there was like, I felt like I had just watched like a great film, and I don't throw that around lightly, you know.
No, we're movie geeks.
We are movie geeks. I love great films, and this is the closest to a great film wrestling's ever going to come. And prove me wrong. You know, I dare you. Prove me wrong. But the Bloodline, nothing has anything on this. I'm sorry. They just don't.
I will not prove you wrong, but another story that I think has been just perfect going into Revolution was Will and Kyle.
Yeah.
The story they were telling together, you know, just the student who thinks it's their time and wants to cut the line and doesn't want to put the work in, and they just think the sun shines out their ass and they should get the glory already. And they get stopped. They got slapped down. Kyle, I mean, I couldn't hear him in the arena. But when I watched it at home on the pay-per-view, and that shot of him just screaming at Will, like, I hate you, fuck you, I hate you. Like, just the spoiled brat throwing the tantrum, you know, just he knows he's not ready, and it was proven to him, and he couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle being proven wrong, and that was his hubris was his downfall. You know, it was just such a well told story and such a great way to get Will away from the Don Callis family and push him into that main event seat now. You know, that was, I mean, Will gave that Spanish fly off the top, and that was, I know, right? Fuck. I took a video of it, and all you could hear in the video is me like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
No, that was crazy. And
it was nuts, dude. It was nuts. But I forgot what I was going to say. Go ahead.
But there was so much storytelling in this match, which, you know, you're illustrating really well. Like the screwdriver, you know, all the instruments that had kind of played a part.
AEW's like been really into assault with deadly weapons. You know,
yes, it is a pastime.
We've got a screwdriver. We've got the scissors.
Yeah.
And we got Mox with a crowbar the other night. Like, what's the fuck?
Yeah, Nancy Kerrigan.
That's what I was going to say. Went all Tanya Harding on her shit.
Why? Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie, I, Tanya?
I never actually saw it. No, I've always wanted to.
Well, Hauser's in it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that clubs Tanya Harding.
Oh, wow.
Or Nancy Kerrigan. Yeah, he's one of the dudes that clubs Nancy Kerrigan.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I really, really, really loved the cage match. I thought it was, again, just, you know, great action. I think, though, that if you're Kyle Fletcher or you're Konosuke Takeshita, you got to be looking over your shoulder, because Don Callis, what I love about him is he's a fucking snake and he turns on all of his golden goose. Once you're not the golden goose anymore, he's done with you. And I think on Dynamite, they actually alluded to Takeshita possibly turning babyface when he killed Max Caster.
I think so. I think that it's time for him to be a face. Like,
yeah,
everyone already loves him, you know?
Yeah, he might leave for a little bit, but I think Takeshita's on his way to turning babyface. But the match with he and Omega was also another stunning bit of storytelling. Lots of callbacks to that initial match from All Out a few years back. And I said this on Sit Down, Shut Up. Kenny's signature move is no longer the one-winged angel. It's the kick out on one. You guys lost your fucking minds when he did that. He barely ever does it, and he always makes you forget that he does it. So when he does it, it means so much. It's the peak of, it's his Hulk up move, and it's so fucking good. So Takeshita hits him with this running knee once, gets a 2 count, does it again. It's how he pinned Kenny in their first match. And Kenny kicks out on one. Amazing shit. Amazing.
They got the biggest reaction of the night during that big near fall towards the end.
Yeah.
Was the biggest reaction of the night. Like, that place exploded. Like the proverbial roof came off. Like, it was loud. Beautifully loud.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, those guys gave everything they had. And what I loved about that match was that, and what I'm noticing about Kenny's matches right now is he's not Mr. like all action all the time. Like, he's slowing down. He's selling more. He's playing the babyface in peril. And when he does his signature stuff that we all want to see, it means a lot. And he's putting over Takeshita massively because he looked like a total underdog versus Takeshita the whole match.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of where Kenny's at in the story, the saga of Kenny Omega. You know, because how old is he now?
He's 41, I believe.
Yeah, so he's not the Kenny Omega of the mid 2010s, you know. No. Like, this is, you know, I don't want to say old man Kenny, but this is like his Logan era almost.
Right.
Bit,
well, he's like getting to that Terry Funk middle-aged and crazy kind of part of his life.
Kind of where Cope is a little bit,
right?
Yeah, a little younger than Cope, but
10 years.
Or is he? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So, but this is kind of like, not as, I don't want to say his Twilight, but this is kind of him. He's no longer the fastest. He's no longer
he's not Osprey,
the smoothest, you know, but he's still Kenny fucking Omega.
He's my goat, baby. He's my goat. I mean, he's my guy. So, like, he tells great stories. And that's what I love about Kenny is, it's so underappreciated about him because he was such a once in a lifetime in-ring competitor. And Osprey's kind of taking that mantle, right? And so, and Fletcher's like behind Osprey. I mean, it's like the pipeline AEW has right now is crazy.
If you like great fucking wrestling, then
they got you covered. It seems
like we're going to be happy for a while.
They got you covered for like the next 20 years.
Yeah. I want to talk about Hangman and MJF.
Great match.
This is shaping up to be quite the fucking
I am loving it.
Thing.
I'm loving it. Yep.
I love the story behind it all. You know, it's like at its heart, to me anyway, it's MJF is pissed that when he does bad shit, people don't love him, but Hangman does bad shit and we love him. But it's him missing him as a character, missing the point of it is we don't love Hangman because he did bad shit to further himself or just to do bad shit.
Right.
Like, he did bad shit for his family. He did bad shit because he burned down a man's house, sure. But he burned down his house because that guy cut a promo on his child in his crib, you know,
in his home. Right.
In his home. It's almost like Straw Dogs, you know, the old Peck and Paw movie where it's like, the whole point is like, how far would you go to like protect your family? You know, it's like Last House on the Left a little bit.
Yep.
But Max does it to push himself. Like if Max does something shitty to someone, it's because it benefits Max and only Max. And he doesn't see that. And so like the spoiled brat he is, you know, he's fucking around and he's finding out. But as he's finding, you know, it's let me prove my point. And it's like, no, man, there is no point. Like you're just being a bitch. Like I just love it. It's such a simple story. But they've done it so well. I mean, both Hangman and MJF for promo just they've been knocking it out of the park lately. You've got Hangman chasing him down in the streets, almost running him and Renee over. You know, Max tries to set Hangman on fire. Like this is pretty. Like I hope they do more. Like you know.
Oh, I think they are. I mean, you know, so. I guess my take from this whole thing was like, it was kind of like disturbing to see how undone Max became, because I don't think even during his babyface run, we ever really saw him get to that, like where the jealousy and the angst and the like self-loathing came out in such a visceral way. And then when they showed on Dynamite, him looking in the mirror, calling himself a fraud, and he breaks the mirror and then he screams at Lexi to get out. I'm like, okay, they're going to turn him babyface, right? Which I don't really want. Okay. Not right now. Not yet.
Yeah.
And then where they go on Dynamite with this whole thing throws everything into chaos, because now we're like, is Max going to join the Hurt Syndicate?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Who the fuck saw that coming? That was a really good segment. And then,
think about it. Swerve and Bobby still kind of
there's
need to meet again.
There's some meat on this bone, and I think we're going back to Max and Hanger because they ran into each other after this whole little meet up in the ring to kind of show this is not done. So they'll probably fight again at Dynasty. My guess is Max is going to win with the help of the Hurt Syndicate, and Swerve may fall to Moxley via some sort of shenanigans. Okay. And then you get the ultimate buddy cop team up where you get Swerve and Hanger finally have a mutual reason. They've settled their shit. Hangman finally degraded Swerve in the way that Swerve degraded him. You know, like when Ricochet
we get
called
their
back,
odd couple era.
You get the odd couple era. And who has the tag titles right now? The Hurt Syndicate. So,
ooh, me likey.
Yeah, and I can't take any credit for that. Toby, one of our friends, Toby, brought this up in a private conversation, and I think he might be right. It makes a lot of sense. Toby, you're a smart guy.
Yeah,
but, you know, as much as I want Swerve with that belt, Swerve and Hangman in an odd couple tag team, kind of dope.
Oh, I like it has to go there. It has to. It's like it's every great story, wrestling story, you know, you got to have that era.
Absolutely. But and then maybe you get Will and Moxley at All In, you know?
Yeah. Well, we don't have to worry about Swerve and Rick, you know, that's done.
Yeah.
Which that story too.
That match
going into, oh God, yeah. But I mean, the story going into it, like amazing. You've got basically Dylan Klebold is what Ricochet turned into, Michael Douglas and falling down, you know, like it's giving Parkland.
Great analogy. Don't watch that movie, guys. It didn't age well.
No.
I saw it a few years ago. I was like, oh, this is like a conservative propaganda movie. I didn't realize.
No, not a good one. But just who would have thought, like Ricochet
Not
would
me.
be like one of the best heels in recent memory. Like that. I'm not going to forget about this storyline. That's
Nope.
not going to be a storyline that I'm just going to like for. Like that shit had me like every week recently. You know,
Mhm.
it's just I feel like they've been heating back up for a while now, but the
Yep.
last maybe month of AEW has been, in my mind, just some of the best pro wrestling I can remember. But not just because of like the storytelling in the matches that are happening that we get to see. It's also like the show just feels
Mhm.
different. It feels like the pacing has been amazing. Everything is working itself like into the next very, very evenly. And it's still what I think makes AEW what I love is it still feels like a good variety wrestling show. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
like yeah, like they're gonna tell you the stories that are happening, but like they're also just gonna have a great wrestling show.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, that's really what pro wrestling is just putting on a good show, you know?
Yeah, well, and I think you also have like you have some stuff with Mercedes is about to wrestle Billy Starks
Yeah,
on
that'll be fun.
Dynamite. And that seems to be leading in a direction that I am very excited about. Because I do think we're going to get Athena versus Mercedes in July at All In Athena's hometown. I think that's where we're headed. You have Tony Storm now feuding with Megan Bain.
Oh,
which
the Megasis.
Fucking inject that into my veins. Let me ask you this. So Joshi, and a lot of people agree with Joshi that it's too soon to put the belt on Megan. I disagree. Not because I think like she's a great talker and she's a very developed character, but she's like a Brock Lesnar where her presence is so special that you kind of just need somebody to talk for her.
Yeah.
Because I've only heard her say like bow down and then she does the F5 and it's over. She even does the F5 for Christ's sake. Like, but how they belted up Brock in 3 months, back in 2002, I kind of feel like maybe Tony's dropping this belt to Megan. Like it could very well happen. But Megan's feuding with like 4 different people at the same time.
Who would you make her Paul Heyman?
It's hard to
Who
say.
would be her Paul Heyman?
In the right circumstance, if he was up for it, it would be Stokely Hathaway. I'd find a way to make that work. But I don't know what's going on with Stokely right now.
No, I miss him.
I love you, Stoke. Big Stoke. Love you, buddy. But they need the right mouthpiece for it. That's all they need. I don't think Megan should lose. But if you're, I mean, what I like about Tony right now is he's not being as cautious as he's been in the past. That's one of AEW's faults is like he's held off on some really big matches and then somebody gets injured and we just never see that match. I wanted to see Danielson and Kenny have a series and they had one match because.
Well, that's what I like about what's been going on recently is it feels like we are getting more series.
We're getting series and we're getting the big match when they can do it. You know, we got Ospreay versus Swerve last year. As soon as they could do it, they did it. And we're getting that big feel. Like even on a smaller scale, you're getting Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole. That feels like a big match. So AEW is extremely exciting right now. I love where it's going. And the shows feel more congruent than they've ever felt, in my opinion.
Yeah, they feel cohesive. You know, it feels like it just feels like it's meant to be the way it is. It doesn't feel as, well, why did they go into this from this? It's just very like, oh yeah, it feels like just a fluid wrestling show. I love it. It's been so much fun. And the visuals have been the production has been so much fun lately too. Like
absolutely.
The way they've been taking advantage of the different venues and stuff, like
oh god,
it's just cool, like if WWE's your thing, like that's cool,
You're right.
like I love this, like it's every week is a little bit different,
You're
it's
right.
a little more creative to me, because like I grew up in the era of every pay-per-view you would look forward to what the new set was going to be, what the set look, the big custom sets and stuff. And so I know that's just, it's so much work to do that and whatnot. But even like just having like every week, like have the screens set up differently or just making use of the venue is super cool, man. Like it makes me like, I'm finding myself every week like, oh, let's see what the arena looks like,
Right. Yeah.
Whereas I never used to do that with pro wrestling.
It looked the same all the time.
Yeah, every arena just looks the same, but they're going to some like really cool, unique little venues, and I think that's been a big part of it too. Is the shows just feel more alive and electric.
Yep. And the audiences are
it's pro wrestling, it's going to go back and forth between companies and whatnot. But right now, like AEW just feels like it's alive.
My thing is AEW in a lot of ways feels like exactly where it should be. I know people are going to say they're not as popular as they were, and they're right. That's technically true. But somebody on Blue Sky made a great point, which is like they've normalized, really, which is you are, quote unquote, competing with a company that is 60 some odd years old, and AEW never should have been as close to them as they were. That was a reflection of how pathetic Vince was booking the company. Yeah. And
bad times.
All it took was for him not to be involved anymore, and a whole bunch of people ran right back to him, right? So however you feel about them, that's great. But my point is, AEW is distributed nationally, internationally, worldwide. They are selling a ton of pay-per-views. They did 140 some odd thousand buys for Revolution.
I looked around and I didn't like it, the stadium was full. The Staples Center.
And that's the other thing.
Staples Center was full.
Right. So like the pay-per-views are still huge and packed. AEW is doing just fucking fine. Okay? Like, and it's still pro wrestling. It doesn't look like a wannabe WB Marvel movie, right? Which is, if that's your thing, WWE exists. Go find that. But we have something that is, quote unquote, for the sickos, like me, 45-year-old man who's watched wrestling my whole life. And I am loving where they're at. It feels like the perfect combination of modern wrestling, old wrestling, territory wrestling, all that stuff melded into one thing instead of this homogenized
and
spectacle.
that's what I love about it is it feels in a sense more grounded, in reality. It's not like when I watch something like WWE now, it feels to me more like yeah, there's wrestlers that like you'd support the wrestlers and stuff, but above all, it feels like it's at the end of the day, the company's the most important thing.
It is, yeah.
But it feels like it almost feels like it's a sports team itself or something. You know what I mean? It's whereas like I watch AEW and it feels more like, you're gonna just see the best of what pro wrestling's got, and it doesn't matter if it's from CMLL or New Japan or any of the other company, GCW, any of the other companies. It's just good. It's good variety wrestling. How wrestling's kind of traditionally was before. Before monopolizing and it just to me feels, I don't know, just more real, I guess,
Sure.
and it's more about, of course there's the main stories that are going to run through it, but then, you'll have a couple weeks where there's random, CMLL talent coming up and getting a shot to be on television, put on an amazing show. I mean, we got Hechicero versus Orange Cassidy as a main event.
Main event of Dynamite.
Like on a Wednesday. That's beautiful to me. I love that shit,
Yeah, you see the best in the biz from all over the place.
Well, yeah, because that's kind of how it would be. I mean, like, I don't know, in most sports, like combat sports and stuff like that. I mean, I don't watch any of it really, but like, I would figure, like, it isn't like, it's not like, okay, well, this person has to be for this company and they can only, you know what I mean? Like, I appreciated more, back in when I would watch tapes from like old territory days, and you would have someone from a different territory come through for a tour and like do a show, and it's just more fun that way to me.
It is, and I think
you're
right about the sports team thing, and that's WWE's making. So like, I actually saw somebody did a screen share of a tweet from Meltzer where it was like, people used to support wrestling fans, not companies. And somehow that's changed. And WWE changed it because they didn't want to risk, like when John Cena retires, WWE is less popular. So they made the brand the focus.
Yeah.
And the industry kind of followed suit, right? So like TNA is a certain kind of brand, and AEW is a certain kind of brand, and New Japan's a certain kind of brand. And you kind of have a thing you expect. But WWE's always kind of puffed out its chest and said, like, well, we're bigger than all those brands, so we're better.
And it's monopoly. It
is weird, monopolistic, fake alpha bullshit. Excuse me, but it is. And you done to hide like jealous, insecure thinking, right? Yep. And now you've got AEW who's working in concert with CMLL and New Japan and Stardom. And we have access to all these fucking incredible wrestlers from all over the world that people are getting to know. WCW used to have a working relationship with New Japan and AAA. And now AEW's kind of carrying that forward. And it's just awesome. So because I produced this goddamn thing, okay?
Yeah.
And we've been talking for a while, Brett.
He does. I know. I forgot to set a timer. I told you, man.
We're looked at the time when we started. I'm used to your bullshit.
We're doing things differently here.
I know
we're hanging out,
We're hanging and banging, not like it sounds. But
he wishes.
Okay. Brett, thank you for changing the show without talking to me or consulting me at all and letting me find out by showing up today.
Well, I mean, it is my show.
I mean, yeah, but I produced the thing, so you would have thought.
Yeah, but this is better, right? This is more fun. You had so much more fun. Look, you didn't even have to.
Fine.
You didn't even get yelled at that much today.
I haven't been in the box yet.
No, we had a good talk. We had a good session here. You feel better?
I'm angry at you that you got to see the show live and I did not.
Oh, but I mean, do you feel better in your heart right now?
A little bit, yeah.
Good, because now that the show's over, we have to go persist among the horrors.
That is true. And persist we shall.
Persist we shall. Also, I was talking with these chuckle fucks here, the rest of the Sickos Club original gangsters. And I think we should start a movement, to where when you're out in public and, the lady at the dispensary asks you, like, hey, how are you? Like, your response should be, I am persisting despite the horrors. Because then you know how to engage with that person based on their response.
Right.
Anyway, see you next week. Bye.